Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Talent Tap podcast. My name is Danny Lachmandas, your host and founder of Crintalo. We help businesses generate a consistent, qualified client opportunities through an AI-powered growth engine. And with us today, we have Tammi Pickle, co-owner of Elite Connections. How are you doing, Tammy?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on your show, Danny.
Thanks for coming on. It's great having you. Where are you calling in from today?
I am in Westlake Village, California, just outside LA.
Amazing. I have never been to California, hoping to make it out there soon. I'm over here in Nashville, quite a different climate and different everything else, right? It's
Yeah,
definitely very
I've
different
never
out
been
here
there
than
too,
Cali.
but I want to visit. I hear it's
Yeah,
a fun place.
it is a fun time. I've grown up here, so it's home for me, but I'm definitely hoping to make it out to California. But
Yeah.
tell me a little bit more about yourself, your background, and how you got to where you are today, and what you're doing in Elite Connections right now.
Yeah. So I kind of got into the business because my mom started the company 31 years ago. She was a single mom and she joined a matchmaking agency and she went out on one date. She actually brought home videotapes and I sat down with her and we looked over these videotapes and she went out with Bill and she just thought, what a great way of meeting people. And then she has been with him since then. So he's my
Amazing.
dad and they've been together a really long time. And she just thought, what a great way of meeting people. She thought she'd be single forever as a single mom. And so then she started her own company just a few months after meeting Bill. And so I kind of grew up in the business. I was, I don't know, 13 or whatever. And so it was nothing that I felt I had to do, but I went and I got my degree in psychology and I wanted to get into counseling. And then I started working with clients and helping them meet, the right person was just so rewarding and so special that I could help people in that way, that's when I kind of fell in love with what I do. When I was like meeting the clients and being able to match them up and getting that call like, Tammy, oh, I'm so excited. And so I just been doing it ever since, probably my early 20s. So yeah, I'm almost 45. Been doing it a long time. And, we help professionals kind of meet the right person, but we meet everyone, screen, background search, check ID, vet, just kind of make sure everyone is who they say they are. We have a really large database. We can help anyone anywhere. And we just kind of meet everyone and then some send profiles back and forth. Both parties agree to meet each other. We set up the matches. We get feedback on the matches. So it's kind of nice to have the middleman that's getting feedback from him and her and being able to relay. Maybe they did something wrong on a date. Sometimes you like never hear back from someone and you're like, oh, what I do? Why didn't they like me? So sometimes I'm getting that feedback and I can kind of relay that to them, which is nice, like a fly on the wall or like a friend that overhears from another friend. So that's kind of how I feel is like I'm friends with my clients and I'm setting them up with other friends, but I'm not going to be upset if you don't like my friend. We're just going to move on. But, it's just a good way of meeting professionals that are pretty serious about finding the right person, quality. They appreciate that we're like doing all that background and screening for our clients. So kind of different than the apps, we're deep diving, into them and making sure they are who they say they are and they're looking for something serious and the type of person that's coming to us is looking for something more serious. They want to find committed relationships, marriage, whatnot, but we work for all ages from 20s to 80s. And really, we can help anyone anywhere. We have offices all over Southern California, Northern California, New York, Miami, Vegas, Texas. Those are some of our larger locations, but we really can help anyone anywhere.
Yeah, it's amazing. I have somewhat of a similar background to you. My parents also started some businesses when they were young that they're still doing that I help them with every day. We sell fireworks every summer, retail fireworks, and my parents started that about 31 to 32 years ago, and we still do that every single summer. And I'm very involved with that. If I had a passion for anything, it would be fireworks. Like selling fireworks, I like doing them. I do fireworks shows. So yeah, I definitely understand the background of going into what your parents started and having a passion for what they started and continuing to grow it.
Yeah,
Um, relate there for sure. Every journey has its challenges. What's been one of the biggest hurdles you and your mom has faced in the career, and how did you navigate through that?
I think COVID. was real hard to get through. Nobody could really
Yeah.
meet in person for a really long time. Restaurants were closed. People were scared to even meet up at,
Uh-huh.
Door Park or something. So kind of put a halt on dating. And it was a little bit like scary how long this would go on for.
Yeah.
Thank God we got through it and we didn't go out of business. And, the positive that came out of it was there people started getting out and even meeting with masks or going outside to restaurants or coffee shops or whatnot, walk dates, park dates, stuff like that. We started meeting with a lot more people virtually, which we were meeting with everyone personally. So virtual, we were able to meet anyone anywhere and people were joining in all different areas. And we were able to meet someone that was in Florida or New York or wherever. So I was able to like interact and meet more people. And we never really thought of that before COVID. So that was the one positive thing that came out of COVID for us.
Yeah, COVID was a tough time for everyone. I'm not someone that has anxiety, but I can remember those first couple months of COVID, just having crazy anxiety about what was going on and what was going to happen, especially those first couple months in 2020 where no one really even knew what was happening. We didn't really have a grasp on what was even happening, and it changed businesses everywhere. The restaurant industry was horrible. The hotel industry even went down. It was a rough time, but I think the world has bounced back. It's bounced back from it pretty well. It's crazy to think it's been 6 years now. It doesn't even seem real.
No, it feels like yesterday for sure.
It
That was
it
a long
does.
couple years we dealt with.
It was. It
It was a
was.
wild ride, but, hopefully we all got through it and learned some kind of lesson from it. It is what it is, right?
Yeah, yeah. My wife is from Australia, and we were in the process of applying for her visa in 2020, and it extended that process. It took a couple years to get that, and we didn't see each other for almost 2 years when we were together. And then when she finally moved, we got married and everything. But COVID was definitely a tough time there for me.
It's really hard. I'm glad it all worked out.
Thank you. What is a common misconception people have about your industry, would you say, and what's the reality of it?
Maybe that people are like desperate that come to a matchmaker, and that's not the case at all. I think app dating has made it even more relevant or like, okay to use a matchmaker and we've been busier than ever. I think because of the apps, people maybe go that route and it's not working for them. It's wasting time. And so they just want a better way of meeting, quality that we have pre-screened kind of a thing. But I think it's opened up people's eyes to a matchmaker in a different light. Not that they're desperate to find someone, but they're busy. They're working hard. They may have families and children and they're running companies and whatnot. And they want to invest in finding the right person. I mean, we invest in a lot of things. You use a professional for many, many things. So why would you not use a professional to help you find the love of your life that you maybe wouldn't come across because you're working hard every day. Are spending time with friends and family and you're running a business and what. So you're just not running into, the person that you're wanting to be with. So instead of like leaving it all up to fate, sometimes, you want to put yourself out there in different ways to find other potential singles that kind of align with what you're looking for and those types of things. And that's what we do for our clients. So I think it's all the apps have helped us just because, like, well, if that didn't work, then I'm going to look into a matchmaker because they're doing all that background that maybe the apps are not doing for me.
Yeah, I can really see how the apps can definitely have helped you. I could remember, I mean, 10, 12 years ago when the apps first started coming around, I had friends that were so against it. They were against meeting someone online. They felt you had to go out to a bar or meet someone. So as people got more comfortable using the apps, I'm sure that made them even more comfortable using a company like you because they were already used to the online presence of meeting somebody. So yeah, it definitely makes sense that the apps has helped people use a company like yours versus maybe not as much before the apps.
Yeah. And I think people go on like, let's say 5, 7 bad first dates and they're shelling
Uh,
out $100 or more every time they're meeting someone. They're wasting time talking to somebody for weeks or months. And then you meet them and they look nothing like their photos, or they've been lying about whatever. And they're like, it's wasting my money and my time. And so I'm going to invest in someone that's doing all that for me. So yeah, it is, a matchmaker costs, certain amount of money, but it's worth it to somebody that wants to invest in finding the right person and not wasting their time and money on a bunch of bad dates. I'm not saying apps
yeah.
are all bad. I know people have met that way, but I think it's a kind of small percentage of the masses that are on the apps.
Yeah, and just dating in general, it does cost money to go on a date, whether the woman is paying or the man is paying, or however it is, someone is paying money for the date, right? So I'm sure it can get frustrating for people that have, like you said, 5 to 7 first dates go bad. I would be very frustrated if that was me.
Right. And there's a lot of just access, right? So like you maybe are talking to somebody for a couple weeks or a couple months and then like you don't hear from them anymore, hear from them less, or because they're probably talking to other people at the same time. There's a lot of access, there's a lot of swiping, there's a lot of ooh, shiny new toy. So I think that maybe they're not always as serious about like focusing on that one person and seeing it through. There's just so many different options that people are always like, ooh, who else is out there? Is there somebody better? That kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely an ongoing thing where you're just constantly screening and trying to figure out if someone is the right person, especially if you're not using a company like you. It's all on the individual to navigate that. And like I said, people might have jobs, businesses they're running, other things going on. So I can see how your company can help greatly in that, especially saving them time and money is the biggest thing I would see saved. But along the lines of AI, how do you see AI fundamentally altering the landscape of business strategy and decision making in the coming years, particularly in your industry?
It has been helpful with searching and making matches. Yes, we still, as people and matchmakers, are kind of overseeing, but there's so many companies. There's AI systems that like kind of give you the best matches. Like, let's just say I want a certain area and a certain religion and a certain ethnicity, whatnot. There's so many systems that just create those lists, and then they pop up, and then we're able to go through and pick the best matches and those types of things. So I think AI is helpful. I don't think it'll take over the human interaction, that we meet everyone and then we're matching based on knowing two people and if we have a feeling if they might be a good fit. So the human part of it versus just AI generated database is kind of like an app database, and you're just kind of going through and picking. But I think AI is going to be helpful with a lot of businesses. And I think we just got to take the good and use it as we need it. But I think it's helpful in our company, just using it as finding the appropriate matches, and then we kind of go through and then we send profiles out, still as human beings, knowing the people and feeling it's going to be a good fit as a human being, as a knowing all the parties, and then making matches too as matchmakers and professionals.
Yeah, the one thing I found that AI is doing more so in businesses I use it in all of my businesses. It's saving time and making things more efficient. Like you said, I think the human touch is still very much needed in most industries, especially in yours. It is very much needed, but AI is making things quicker and more efficient. Things you would spend hours and hours on doing that much quicker. And that gives you a chance as a business owner to focus your time and energy on things that need your time and energy. So that's definitely one way I believe AI is going to help businesses grow at a quicker pace, especially the people that know how to use it. Like AI is in the hands of everyone today, from your teenager to your 80-year-old person. They have some form of AI on their phone that they can use, but the people that in business that I believe are going to get the best results are the ones that have someone on their team that is trained how to use the AI, because the way you use it, the better results you will have if someone knows how to use it very well versus someone that is not so trained on it. I heard someone say the other day, I'm not afraid of AI replacing my job. I'm afraid of someone that is trained on how to use AI replacing my job. I think that's going to be a big thing going forward in the coming years.
Yeah, definitely.
For businesses looking to adopt AI, what would you say are the most common pitfalls or challenges they might face?
I guess using it properly, and uh, being able to use it effectively, like you said. We write a lot of articles and things for our company, so it's been helpful to get different ideas that way. But, you gotta be careful overusing it and letting AI just do the work for you, because
Mhm.
I think people know when it's not written by you, and a lot of things are just going to be 100% AI generated. I even my kiddo uses it for math and things, but I was like, well, you can't just get the answer. You have to know exactly what you're doing. So yeah, just putting out information, I think maybe is going to be for the masses. Are they like, oh, is this really written by a computer or a human being? Because it's so accessible and it's so easy to just write this article for me. So you got to be careful that you don't let people that are working within your company or whatnot overuse that. That we still are, doing things ourselves with our own frame of mind. But getting ideas and things, I think, are so helpful. I go on there all the time to get ideas or put this picture together for me, or
Yeah.
advertising and things. It's amazing. I mean, it's something that would take you hours is now like that. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
great.
that goes back to the time efficiency thing. If businesses can figure out how to use it correctly and efficiently, they can focus that time on energy on more things to actually grow their business, right? Which again, it's a part of business development and growing at a quicker rate successfully.
Right.
Back to more about your business. What's a unique perspective or philosophy that you bring to the industry that you believe sets you apart?
I think the personal touch. I mean, when I meet my clients, I'm actually matching them personally. I'm not, maybe sending them off to somebody that's never met them, doesn't know them. So we really feel that that's important. I bring on my clients and I match them. Of course, I have a big team that's helping me, but they're all kind of run through the matchmaker that meets them. And we have matchmakers in all different areas, but those are the people that are actually helping the clients personally, and we really know them and what they're looking for and what they're all about. So really a personalized approach. I do coaching, like I said, I get the feedback and relay, and I really talk to my clients, listen to them. My background in psychology, I feel like, is helpful. And someone's trying to get through something or they're nervous to get out there again. Like, I'm really there through the whole process for them. So I really do feel like I'm a friend, just like there to be a support, and then being able to match them with, all my friends in my database.
Yeah, yeah. So do you coach them on how to actually like present themselves on the date, act on the date, all of the above, or is it more of a coaching after the fact if a date goes wrong?
I've done both. I've had clients that are like, "I've been out of the dating game. I'm so nervous. Can you give me some pointers?" And, that kind of thing before the date. Or I get feedback, and then I'll kind of coach them through what might have happened, what, they were talking too much about their ex or their drama at work or their family issues, or, things that you might not even realize that you're doing, that you're like, I was, a little Debbie Downer on the date and I didn't even realize that I was like poor me and pity party and those types of things. And maybe you don't even realize you're doing it. And so, like, I can bring that to someone's attention. There's been many times where, like, he asked me to go on a trip too soon and it made me uncomfortable. So I can relay those types of things and either salvage the date or just let them know for the future. maybe be careful asking somebody on a trip too soon because it's they don't want to move that quickly or they're not ready or you got to feel it out. So sometimes it's just nice things that you don't even realize you're doing because you've been out of the dating game or you don't know what the rules are.
Yeah.
There's a lot of games in dating, so it gets a little tricky.
Yeah, it can I'm sure it can definitely be tough. I've been out of it for almost 10 years and hope I never have to date again.
Definitely.
Yeah, and just with the way the world has changed in the past 10 years with everything, with the apps and with everything going on, it's just I couldn't imagine having to start over again in my 30s dating. I'm sure it is tough.
Yeah, I'm glad you're happy and you don't have to.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's, like with me selling fireworks and any kind of sales, it's always so, I guess, gratifying or it's amazing when I sell to a customer and they come back and they're like, "Oh, I love those fireworks," or "That really made me happy." It makes you as a salesperson feel happy that you were able to sell to them and also have a customer that walks away happy because then they in turn recommend other people to your business or they come back to you. So it goes a really long way when you're able to to make the customer happy and to remember you long term, and it feels good for you, I'm sure.
Yeah, very rewarding, and I think that's why I got into it and I still do it is because, making helping someone find love that is looking for it is everything. Like that's really important to them and I'm able to help them find that person. I think, finding companionship and love is one of the most important things for certain people. That's it's important to. And I believe it brings so much joy to your life and happiness and fulfillment. And I'm just, so grateful to be able to bring that to my clients and help them find that person.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's like I said, definitely, I'm sure it's very much a good feeling when you're able to match someone effectively and it turns to a long-term thing for sure.
Yeah.
But, to close this out, if you could fast forward 5 to 10 years from now, what's one major way you hope AI will have positively impacted society or your business or business in general?
We have been talking about an app where we are still personally screening everyone. So I'm hoping that AI will help us get there a little faster than we have, but
Yeah.
more so for the masses because not everyone can afford, the prices we charge. And so it'd be more so for the masses, but also a safe way of meeting people that are wanting to meet the right person. So I'm hoping that we get that out to the open and I mean, that everyone's businesses can flourish because of AI and they're able to get more customers because they're spending less time on certain things and they can focus on, customer service and helping their clients. It takes away from, other parts that they're spending time on and they can focus on, growing and building. And so, yeah, I hope it helps everyone, all business owners and mine just, yeah, I guess the app part of it, I've been thinking a lot about doing. So my mom and I are in the process of coming out with something soon, and I think AI is gonna be helpful in that, starting that for us.
Yeah. Good luck on that. AI has made it so easy to build websites and build apps now. Before, I mean, I wouldn't have even thought about building an app 7 or 8 years ago. I wouldn't even know where to start, but now there's so many tools and so many things that you can use to get an app up and going very quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for coming on. It was amazing talking to you. I enjoyed having you on, and you're definitely the most different business I've had on the podcast so far. The
I'm sure there's
first person I've talked to in this industry
yeah,
ever.
there's not
So
many of
it was a joy. But
yeah,
thank you.
yeah.
Yeah, and thanks to everyone for listening. I'll put her LinkedIn link in the description, and y'all check that out and give her a follow. Thank you.